Hello everyone, let's start a new topic, that is Petrov's equation for hydrodynamic bearing. Now this topic comes from theory of hydrodynamic lubrication. So let's take a review of hydrodynamic lubrication. Now here we have the figure, and by using of statement we can say that in hydrodynamic lubrication, pressure required to support the load is generated by motion and geometry of bearing or motion of the journal in concern with the viscosity of lubricant. So in short we can say that pressure is generated by motion of journal using the viscosity of lubricant in hydrodynamic lubrication. Comparing with the hydrostatic bearing, we know that in hydrostatic bearing the pressure is generated externally by using of pump. So here in this topic we are going to discuss about the Petrov's work published in 1883 on hydrodynamic lubrication. But before that, let's discuss about the nomenclature of hydrodynamic journal bearing. Now here we have the figure. This is the journal, this is the bearing, and in between that there is a lubricating oil or space for the lubricating oil. This kind of the bearing is eccentric type of the bearing, because the center of journal and center of bearing having some distance or having some gap, that is called as eccentricity, E. So let us discuss about the term. First is capital R. Capital R is the notation for the radius of bearing in mm. Then small r is the radius of journal. Here we have the journal, and this is the small r, it is the radius of journal in mm. Then radial clearance C. Now this is very important term. The radial clearance is nothing but difference in radii of bearing and journal. Means radial clearance, we can say that it is different between capital R and small r. So here we write C is equal to capital R minus of small r. Now eccentricity E, it is the distance between the center of bearing. Here we have capital O for center of bearing, and journal when journal is rotating, and here we have O dash is the center of journal. So when we are considering that the journal is in rotation, so the distance between the O dash to O is nothing but the eccentricity, that is denoted by E. It is the distance between center of bearing and center of journal. The next term is minimum oil thickness, denoted by HO. This is again very important term. Now firstly we will discuss about the definition. Minimum oil thickness when measured along the line joining the centers of the bearing and journal, and it is minimum thickness of oil. So here we have HO, and here we get the minimum thickness of oil, and it can be measured along the line of center. Okay, so HO is the minimum oil thickness. Then eccentricity ratio denoted by epsilon. So it is the ratio of eccentricity and radial clearance, that is small e divided by C. E is nothing but this distance between two centers of journal and bearing, and clearance is R minus of small r. Okay, so the ratio of eccentricity and radial clearance is called as eccentricity ratio or eccentricity ratio, and denoted by epsilon. Then we have one another term, that is minimum oil film thickness ratio, HO upon C. We know HO is nothing but minimum oil thickness, and C is nothing but the clearance, that is radial clearance. So HO upon C is minimum oil thickness ratio. So from this figure, or according to geometry, we can say that capital R is equal to E plus small r plus HO. So we can write over here E plus small r plus HO. So let's rearrange the term. So capital R minus of small r is equal to E plus HO. Now we know capital R minus of small r is nothing but the clearance. So instead of that we put the clearance C. So C is equal to E plus HO. Let's divide the whole term by C. So we get 1 is equal to E upon C plus HO upon C. Now what is E upon C? E upon C is nothing but the epsilon, that is eccentricity ratio. So E upon C is eccentricity ratio plus HO upon C. HO upon C is the minimum oil film thickness ratio. So we get the equation 1 is equal to E upon C plus HO upon C. Or let's rearrange the equation. We get HO upon C minimum oil thickness ratio is equal to 1 minus of E upon C, or we can say that 1 minus of epsilon. So here we finish with the nomenclature of hydrodynamic journal bearing. Now let's start with the Petrov's equation. Now as we discussed earlier, the phenomena and analysis of hydrodynamic bearing was first done by Petrovs in 1883. The Petrov's equation is used to determine the coefficient of friction in hydrodynamic journal bearing. But before start the construction and equation, let's see what are the assumptions of this Petrov's equation. The first assumption is the journal is concentric to the bearing. So here we have the figure. The journal and bearing are concentric to each other. There is no eccentricity. Then the load is light. So this equation is not applicable for a high load. Then speed of rotation is high. The load is light, so speed of rotation is high. Then viscosity of lubricant is also high. So in that circumstances we can use the Petrov's equation. So again we'll revise the assumption. First is the journal and bearing is concentric with each other. Then load is light, that is W is very less. Then speed is high, that is speed of rotation is very high. Then viscosity of lubricant is high. But we know that in practice it is very difficult to achieve such conditions, that load is always light and speed is high. So Petrov equation is important only for it defines the group of dimensionless parameters that influence the frictional properties of bearing. So we know that the conditions of Petrov equations are very difficult to achieve, but it is important because it defines the group of parameters which influence the frictional properties of bearing. So here we have the figure. We are going to consider a horizontal shaft rotating at speed ns in the bearing. So here we have the notation. We already discussed with the notation. Let's repeat it. Capital R is the radius of bearing in mm. Small r is the radius of journal in mm. Then L is the length of bearing. So here we put L, length of bearing in mm. Then we know that C is the clearance. It is radial clearance between the bearing and journal. So C, here we have the C. Here is the diameter of journal. Here is the bearing. So in between that there is a radial clearance C. Then ns is the speed of journal. So here we have the ns. It is speed of journal, but as you can see it is in rps, that is revolution per second. Then u is the velocity at surface of journal. So u is the velocity at surface of journal, and it is mm per second because the speed is in rps. So the velocity is pi d n. So n is the ns. So we can rewrite it. It is 2 pi r ns. Then mu is the absolute viscosity. It is in Newton second per mm square. Then W is radial load on the journal. So it is in Newton. Then PB is the bearing pressure on the projected area. So it is W divided by DL because we are considering W is nothing but the radial load on the journal, and here PB is the bearing pressure, so it is load divided by area, so it is W divided by DL. So let's rearrange the term D, so we get W divided by 2RL. Now let's refer the Newton's law of viscosity equation. We already studied this Newton's law of viscosity. So we have the equation F is equal to mu A U upon H. So we are going to apply this equation for viscous flow through the annular portion between the journal and bearing. So let's define the term first. F is tangential frictional force, then A is the area of journal surface, so it is pi dl. So instead of d we again put 2r, so it is 2 pi r into L. Then H is the distance between the journal and bearing, so that distance is equal to C. We know that distance between journal and bearing is nothing but the C. So here instead of H we have C. Then substituting these values in equation A, what we get? C. F is equal to mu. Mu is the absolute viscosity. Then area is what? 2 pi r L. So area we put the value. Then Q, we already know that U is equal to pi r 2 pi r ns. So instead of U we put 2 pi r ns. H is nothing but the distance between journal and bearing, so we have distance between journal and bearing is equal to C. So after multiplying the term we get F is equal to, that is tangential frictional force is equal to 4 pi square r square L mu ns divided by C. So after getting tangential frictional force, we can able to calculate the frictional torque acting on the journal. So T is equal to F into R, that is tangential frictional force into R. So we have the formula for tangential frictional force, 4 pi square r square L mu ns divided by C into R. So it becomes 4 pi square r cube L mu ns divided by C. But the frictional torque can also express in terms of T is equal to WR, where W is the load. We know that this term W is the radial load and R is the radius. So frictional torque we can say that it is WR. But the frictional torque due to viscous flow can be expressed in terms of equivalent coefficient of friction of bearing. So let's consider F, that is small f, is the coefficient of friction. So we can write frictional torque is equal to F into WR. So what is the W? We have PB is the bearing pressure on projected area. So we already seen this formula, PB is equal to W divided by 2RL. So after rearranging this we get W is equal to PB into 2RL. So here we put T is equal to F as it is, that is coefficient of friction. Instead of W, PB 2RL into R. So what we get? 2F PB L R square. So we get two equations for the frictional torque. So let's equate these two equations. So we equate these two equations. We get this term, small f is equal to, small f is nothing but the coefficient of friction. So small f is equal to 2 pi square r mu ns divided by PBC. So after rearranging the term we get f is equal to 2 pi square r upon c into mu ns divided by PB, and this equation is called as Petroff's equation, which is used to determine the coefficient of friction of hydrodynamic journal bearing. As we said earlier, Petroff's equation indicates that two dimensionless parameters that is R upon C, clearance ratio, and mu ns divided by PB, that is bearing modulus, or we can say that bearing characteristic number, and that influence the coefficient of friction. So I hope you get the concept Petroff's equation for hydrodynamic bearing. So here we stop. Thank you.